Hello, friends. Welcome to Level Up with Debbie Neal. I am your host. There is nowhere I would rather be than right here, right now with you. This podcast is all about leveling up in all aspects of our lives. Thank you for being here. I am so grateful. I'm excited to be on this journey with you. Together, we are leveling up. You ready? Hello, my friends and family. I hope you are absolutely amazing. Today, we're going to be talking about declaring victory over our lives. So, what I want to say is we're approaching the 4th of July, but by the time you listen to this, we've already approached the 4th of July. I'm obviously recording earlier. So when we think about the 4th of July, it's a time when we celebrate the birth of our nation. If you live in the United States of America, which I do, okay? So we're celebrating the birth of our nation. We're celebrating our independence, and we're celebrating our freedom. And when the Declaration of Independence was written, it wasn't just words on a page. It was a commitment. It was a stand. It was a birth of an identity that would shape generations. It was a courageous decision, right? Made by people who were no longer willing to be oppressed, no longer willing to settle for less, and they knew what was possible. And when this all occurred and when it was written, they faced enormous risks. They knew that there would be sacrifices, but the cost of not declaring independence was far greater. So here's what I want to do today. I want to really ponder on that for a moment. Like, I don't know about you guys, but I could take like any event, anything, and like turn it into a business training, right? I want you to think about that for a minute. A declaration. It was an unshakable statement of truth, a refusal to settle, a promise to create something greater. So how does that apply to you leveling up your success? A declaration in your life. You know what it is? It's a line in the sand. It is you rising up, stating to yourself and stating to the world what you stand for and what you will create and what you are no longer willing to tolerate. A declaration is not a wish. It's not a maybe. It is a decision. When we make a declaration, we free ourselves. We free ourselves from fear, the fear of judgment, the fear of failure, the fear of stepping into something unfamiliar. We free ourselves from scarcity, the lie that we're not enough, opportunity, right? Not enough success, that there's not enough abundance and love to go around. We free ourselves from the temptation of our comfort zone. And our comfort zones, they keep us small. They keep us hidden. They keep us from becoming every single thing we are meant to be. So today, okay, here's what I want you to do. I want you to write your own personal declaration. I want you to declare victory over every single area in your life. And I want you to start by really asking yourself, I'm going to give you some hypothetical questions. What will I declare over my life this year? Will you declare that this is the year that you step into your power, that you become the person that you've always dreamed of being? What will you declare over your success? Will you declare that you're going to build something extraordinary, that you're going to stop playing small, that you're going to claim the abundance that has always been waiting for you? What are you going to declare over your health? Will you declare that you're worthy of vitality, energy, fit, strength, and just feeling amazing? You know, that you're no longer available for excuses or neglecting right? Your body that carries you through this life. Because here's the truth. Your declaration becomes your identity. It's pretty powerful when you think about it. You're declaring something that you are going to create and stand in and draw that line in the sand. It becomes the lens through which you see the world, but also the lens that the world sees you. It becomes the standard that you hold yourself to, even when it's hard, friends, because there is going to be days when it's hard. You're going to be tempting to eat something that you don't want to eat. Okay. Actually, I'm going to go off on a tangent here. I'm going to share a little story with you guys. Okay. So I represent a company. I sell amazing products. Like, I'm obsessed about them. And I hope you're obsessed about the products that you represent also. I've been using them consistently. Now, by no stretch of the imagination do I think I'm a heavy person. I'm not a heavy person. I know that. But I wasn't really feeling my best. I'll actually do like a whole podcast about this. But recently, I've lost 8 pounds and I'm pretty pumped. And I literally drew a line in the sand. I drew a line in the sand and I was like, I'm actually no longer willing to tolerate good. I want great. And so what I need to do is make some tweaks. One, continue to use the products I was using, but I was being told for a very long time about intermittent fasting. And you know the story that I told myself? I like my coffee with creamer. I like my coffee with creamer. Well, that creamer, I didn't even realize what it was doing to my whole day. And I share that with you because I made a declaration about my health and I drew a line in the sand. So you need to figure out what it is for you. So let's talk about some different areas, getting back to the podcast here, where we can declare victory, success, and abundance, right? We're going to talk about some areas to declare those things. Number one, let's talk about mindset. We talk about mindset all the time. Your mind is your thoughts. You have control over it. Whether you think you will, or whether you think you can, or whether you think you can't, you're right. You could have a winning mindset. You could have a victim mindset. You could have an excuses mindset, right? So declare that your mindset is going to be one of possibility, one of strength, and one of resilience. That you are no longer available for limiting beliefs. Like, limiting beliefs, are they living inside of your head rent free and you're letting them hang out on the couch, eat some snacks, trash up your head? Because that's what's happening. Make that declaration that you're no longer willing to entertain the voice that's telling you you're not enough. This is hard. You can't. Most people don't. Stop. Because that's your mindset. Again, it goes back to whether you think you can or whether you think you can't, you're right. Everything starts with belief. You have to believe you can. Declare that over your life. From this day forward, you choose your thoughts and choose thoughts that build you up, that propel you forward, that make you feel amazing. Okay? Choose and declare that you're going to have thoughts that remind you of your infinite capacity, because what you're capable of is limitless. You were born limitless. You have every single thing inside of you. Nobody has anything one up on you. Okay. So just declare that over your mindset. Second thing we're going to talk about is abundance. Like, just know that there's so much abundance. There's plenty to go around, that like the life is just filled with gifts. And when I'm just talking about gifts, I'm not just talking about the ones you open. Our health is a gift. Your friends are a gift. Family is a gift. Nature is a gift. What you do for a living is a gift. What you have the ability to do for a living is a gift. So just think about abundance. You're surrounded by abundance. Declare that abundance flows through you freely and effortlessly, that you are worthy of wealth, that you're worthy of opportunity, and you're overflowing with so many blessings. Declare when it comes to abundance that you're no longer live in a story of lack. You lack nothing. You have the energy, decide to have it. You have the discipline, decide to have it. You have the worthiness, decide to have it. You will no longer shrink your dreams to fit into what feels safe. Like, you ever catch yourself doing it like, well, I don't want to dream too big because that's not realistic. I don't want to put this level of income out there because it's probably not realistic. Or maybe you're looking backwards to say like, well, look what I've done in the last year or 2 years. Why do I think the next 1 or 2 years are going to be different? They're going to be different because you're making a different declaration. We're making different declarations over our life and different declarations over our success. You are stepping into truth that there is always plenty, that there's more than enough. Okay. So the third thing we're going to talk about that we're going to declare over our life, over our business, and over our success is vision. Declare that your vision is clear. Like, is your vision clear? Like, what do you want to earn? What level do you want to grow to in your business? What do you want your team to look like? Like, what trips are you going to earn? Be really clear, because if you're foggy, you can't go anywhere. You can't grow anywhere. Declare that you see where you are going and you honor it with the choices every day that you make every single day. Everything about your vision comes down to the choices that you make and the habits that you develop. If you want different results, we need to make different declarations. We need to own our life. Friends, every single day of your life is precious. Every single day of your year is precious. Your vision is your compass. It guides your actions, your discipline, and your focus. Like, declare that there's no more drifting through life, hoping that things are going to happen, right? Like, I hope, I will. I'm going to pray. I pray every single day, but God gave you courage. God gave you tools. God gave you faith. God gave you. You've got to do your part. You are the author of your destiny. Okay. So when we talk about declaring things over our life and our business, the first thing we're going to talk about is discipline. Declare that you are a person of discipline. You know, I hear people say all the time, I'm not disciplined. Be disciplined. What do you think? Somebody comes out of the womb disciplined? Now, here's the difference. Who you surround yourself with matters. Okay. Your company will eventually create your character. Your company that you surround yourself with will eventually dictate your discipline. You're going to hang out with people that are unorganized. You're going to become unorganized. So declare that you're going to become a person of discipline. Live in your word. Discipline is that bridge from where you are. So think about where you are. We're in July of 2025. Now, you might be listening to this in a different month, but I'm talking about in the present. Declare where you are and then declare where you want to be at the end of the year. That bridge, that gap is what you're going to do differently. The habits you're going to do differently. The exercise you're going to do differently. The different things you're going to eat. By the way, again, going back to eating, I didn't even realize how many calories I was eating in ketchup. I don't know how many you people love ketchup. I love ketchup. I was basically eating a daily amount of calories when I would have a burger and a hot dog, okay? So now I know, as much as I love ketchup, that bridge from where I am to where I know I'm going to be is I'm going to have a hamburger without ketchup for a bit, okay? Because my goals are more important than my feelings. Okay, so declare that you are a person of discipline, that you will do what needs to be done long after the feeling you said it in is past. Like, we can make that declaration. We're going to do this and we're going to grow to that and we're going to build this and we're going to work X amount of hours a day. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, do you want to go to the beach, squirrel? You get lost on, Instagram or TikTok and you're like, you're veering off to the left. Discipline is that bridge from where you are to where you're going. And the only person that could cross that bridge is you. You're responsible for all of these things. It's actually amazing that you have the freedom to choose. But why do we always choose the easier option? We don't, like, again, going back to my health, I wasn't happy where I was, and I was not a heavy person. Okay. And when people say, oh, let people live how they want, everybody can live the way they want. I was not happy where I was. I knew what I needed to do. I knew I needed to make some changes because good is the thief of great. Like, I justified, yeah, I look good. I want to look great, right? I want my business to be great. So there's that bridge, but the only person that could cross it was me. The only person that can cross it is you. So what is it? Is it health? Is it business? Is it relationships? What is it? Are you willing to cross that bridge? And it's not always going to be glamorous. It's definitely not always easy, but it's always worth it. Okay. So the next thing we're going to talk about, making a declaration over, is love. Like, we have one life. We have no dress rehearsal. Declare that you're going to love deeply. You're going to love yourself deeply, your people, your purpose, your family, your significant other, your team, the people that you choose to do life with. Love is the energy. It transforms every single thing it touches. Like it's the one that wins all the games. Love always wins. You will lead with love, even when it's hard, even if you feel misunderstood, because you know the thing about love, it is your superpower. And it's like the greatest, most amazing energy that exists. Next, gratitude. Friends, gratitude is everything. We like to touch on gratitude all the time, but you're gonna make this declaration over your life and business. Declare that gratitude is the lens that you're gonna see every single thing, every situation, every obstacle, every lesson, every victory, every conversation, everything. You're gonna look through a lens of gratitude, because gratitude transforms scarcity into sufficiency. Like, wow, that's actually plenty. It's more than enough. Why was I focused on lack? Because I wasn't grateful. Gratitude transforms comparison to celebration. It transforms fear into trust. Gratitude is like the antidote for everything. Is the antidote the right word? I don't even know. It's a solution for everything. It's you add a little bit of gratitude. It's like adding that extra spice that just makes every single thing awesome. Okay. So the next thing we're going to talk about declaring over our life and over our business is growth. Friends, it's time to grow. It's time to level up. It's time to be different. It's time to do different things. Declare that you are committed to growing into the highest version of yourself every single day. Growth is not a destination. You know, I see that all the time in business. People get to a certain level and like, I grew here. Friends, you didn't arrive. It's the starting point. And I'm actually going to do a whole podcast on this, because it's amazing to me that people don't realize that when we grow to a certain level, immediately set the next goal. Okay. It's a way of life. Growth is a way of life. You will embrace discomfort. Like, yeah. And so many people lean back like, I'm not supposed to feel uncomfortable and this doesn't feel organic. And stop. The discomfort is growth. It's you growing into your new norm. It's you creating your next ceiling in business. So you will lean into the challenge because you know that growth is where your power lives. So I want you to declare that over your life and your business. Okay. You're going to declare the next one: freedom from limitations. Like, remove limits from your life. The only limits that you have, the only limits that I have, are the limits that I create in my own mind. So declare that you are no longer bound by old stories, old patterns, and the opinions of others. Like, declare that you are actually free to choose. But here's the thing: you're free to rise. You're free to reinvent yourself as many times as it takes. Declare how you want to spend your days. Declare what you want your life to look like. Okay. So this is some things that I really want you to think about. Okay. What do you really want your life to look like? And I'm not talking about what you think you should want. I'm talking about what your soul is yearning for. What do you want your life to look like? What do you want your business to look like? Like, what would it feel like to wake up every single day inspired by your work, proud of what you're building, and on a crystal clear mission? What would you want your relationships in your life to feel like? Do you want to be connected? Like, how deep do you want the conversations to go? How authentic do you want to be and honest and truthful? Success isn't free. Choices aren't free. Building discipline isn't free. And I'm not talking about the free when it comes to money. I'm talking about effort, time, perseverance, sacrifice. What is the price that you are willing to pay for what you truly want? Because people don't achieve their dreams and goals primarily for one of two reasons. Number one, they didn't want it bad enough. Or two, they attempted to bargain with the price. You can't bargain with greatness. You cannot negotiate the work required. But the price? of not stepping into your calling is much higher. You are different. You're here on purpose, for a purpose. You were born to declare your life and own your declaration. Here is what I want you to do today. I want you to write a declaration to yourself. I want you to make it bold. I want you to make it clear. I want you to make it non-negotiable. And then I want you to sign it. And I want you to put it somewhere that you're going to see it every single day. You're going to look at it. You're going to read it. You're going to speak it out loud, and you are going to become it. Here's the thing, friends. It's like, I am an American. It's 4th of July. So first of all, happy Freedom Month. Okay. And here's one thing that I just want to talk about on a personal note. As we celebrate the 4th of July, I just want to say how proud I am to be an American. I am grateful, deeply grateful for the men and women who have fought and sacrificed so we can live in freedom and possibility. That is something I will never take for granted. And so today, take a minute and let's honor them by standing tall in our own lives on the soil that they fought for so we can live and create a life by design. And we could do this by refusing to settle, by declaring our dreams and living them fully out loud. We are the land of the free and the brave. You are worthy, you are powerful, and your declaration begins now.